free to leave Nigeria. And that is why we are leaving Nigeria. This is how international law already works with numerous principles. That is the law, and that is how it works. Because international law already has the mechanism for evaluating self-determination claims. That is why our BRGIE is working with the US, a country that has brain, a country that believes in the rule of law. So not every group that wants independence has equal claim like Biafra. It's as if this Twitter should be open for us to box these people and punch them on their faces. What are they talking about? The strength of the Biafra case, historically identity, documented violence everywhere, and the referendum that we did, decades of failure to coexist peacefully with this terrorist country called Nigeria, is not replicated anywhere. It is not. It is not. That is our leadership. They are very, very peaceful people, and we know what we want. That is why BRGIE is calling for recognition. Because we can coexist, we can manage ourselves, we can govern ourselves. That's the meaning. A lot of them are also saying, when I went to their Twitter handle, that Nigeria has sovereignty. That is what China is talking about. That is what that idiot from African Union is talking about. The argument here is that Nigeria is a sovereign state, which is what they are crying about. UK is crying about the same thing. And the international community should not interfere with its internal affairs or territorial integrity, which is what they are protecting. Sovereignty is not absolute. I'm just telling them. It is not. Because international law recognizes limit to sovereignty, especially regarding human rights. When a state systematically fails to protect all its citizens, even the regions in that same country, Abba, what do you expect us to do? We have the right to say, no, we cannot belong here. We have the right. Moreover, if you look at the point of self-determination, you will see that we have the right to determine our own political status. We have the right to determine should we stay or should we leave. Nigerian sovereignty over Biafra is exactly what is in dispute right now in the whole world, in the group that are supporting Nigeria. You can't resolve the dispute by simply asserting the very thing that is contesting it. You cannot resolve it like that. I went to them again, at the scavenge to get information and read what the idiots are talking about. They are now saying, this one, Biafra will not be economically viable as an independent state. I said, what? What are you talking? What of the Gulf of Guinea region? Our Gulf of Guinea region holds significant reserve of gas, 2.7%, and other valuable minerals in that region. That is Biafra territory. And that is why we are telling you, give us IOU. We know our worth. We know the resources that we have. We know. Beyond our resources, what of the Biafran people that we have remarkable entrepreneurial capacity? We can start business, we can grow our business, we can also train our brothers and sisters on how to do the business. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? Even when you look at, when I said, what is really wrong with our people? And I came to realize that many current UN member states are even smaller than Biafra nation that we are talking about. And they are members of the UN. Smaller than us. How did they get there? What criteria did they use to declare them a nation? And they are overlooking us, Biafrans, and we are more than 80 million. So economic viability is not a valid reason to deny our self-determination to millions of people, millions of Biafrans. When I read further, I saw some of them write, what about minorities in Nigeria? That is what some of them are asking. If Biafra secede now, what about Yoruba? What about Middle Belt? What about other groups? My dear, I want to tell you, if you are in this BRGIE space, that each case should be evaluated on its merit. So answer your father's name. We don't care. Answer your father's name. If you are Yoruba, go and answer your Fonja. Put your house in order. We don't care. Shebi, your brother is the president. You must answer your father's name. Because Biafra case is particularly strong due to specific historical factors and the current security situation that we are facing in our land. Why should we carry your problem on our heads? So if other nations of, in Nigeria decide to, you know, make similar compelling cases and, you know, demonstrate whatever they want to demonstrate. Their claim deserve consideration too, if they can, but we cannot carry you on our head. Because the goal isn't to punish Nigeria. No, the goal is to acknowledge the current configuration that it is not working. Maybe it is working for them, but for Biafra, it is not working. And we cannot carry the load of others on our head. No. A lot of them are saying, the timing is bad. Why this time? Why this time? There are crises in the world. This is not the time for the international community to talk on Biafra, because they saw Gunter, you know, speaking up. And Walden or Walder speaking up. You know, for people living with violence and insecurity right now, the timing isn't bad, though. It is desperate. We are desperate. Yes, we are desperate to live. That is our situation right now. We are desperate to live. Moreover, the strategic security argument, you know, what they're arguing particularly regarding the, you know, Gulf of Guinea. So just this is exactly the time to discuss and address this issue before it becomes a very large crisis. This is the time to discuss this crisis, because if terrorists should take over the Gulf of Guinea completely, we are finished. How many crises could have been prevented? Have we asked ourselves? I reply one of them. How many would have been prevented if the international community acted earlier rather than waiting, you know, until situation become a catastrophic? Look at Syria. Look at Rwanda. If they had responded on time, do you think it would be the way it is today? It will not. They waited so long. So we are desperate. We need it now. Like I said, tomorrow, no day. The time is now. The time is now for Biafra to be recognized. Every day that passes without progress towards recognition, it means that another day of insecurity, another day of violence, another day where millions cannot live normal life. And remember, my people, there is always temptation to say, no, not now. The time, no, this, that. Let's wait for condition to improve. Let's wait when our PM come out, we continue our contribution. Let's wait when Onyendu is released, we continue our contribution. Time waits for no one. We are desperate to leave Nigeria today. We are ready to leave Nigeria. We are ready. So I don't know. I will yield my mic here, and we go back, because let me just leave the question. let me leave the question, but there is a question here.
Can I before you stop with you, I want to say something there, please, if you allow me.
I think my co-host hand is up. Just giving a few seconds before I continue. Just, you know, because what is turning my brain now is because we have met all the criteria. We have met all the criteria, you know, for our self-determination. We have met it, which is already enshrined in the UN Charter, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We have met all these criteria. Even the newly one that I came and discovered, the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. We have met all these criteria. We have. UN says in Article 1, says, all peoples have the right of self-determination. And by virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. We have met all this with over 50 million votes that we had from the referendum. So the question is not whether self-determination is a valid principle. The international community affirms it constantly. The question is whether the international community will apply it consistently or only when it is convenient for them to speak before they will speak. How many people will die? How many? We have met the Montevideo Convention criteria. We have met it. How many people will die before they respond? We met it. We met a defined population because we have our territory that is very, very clear. The population is clear. We have it. It was proven in the referendum of more than 50 million people that voted. We have effective government, which is a Biafra Republic government in exile, who has also adopted the bylaws, which we also have our charter to govern ourselves. We have, showed them that we have capacity to enter relationship. That is why our BRGIE representative meet with US Congress, which is our APM. They go there with our lobbyists. They have been meeting with them. We can enter relationship with them. We have made the criteria. What is the problem? We have defined territory. What are they waiting for? The historical Biafran territory is well defined. What are they waiting for? We have respect for human rights. These are all the criteria. We have. We respect human rights. That is the reason our APM is shouting every day. Release our Onyendu, release our Prime Minister. They did not commit any offense. Biafra commit to transparent and accountable governance. That is what we are fighting for. Another law came up which we have made. They call it protection responsibility. Responsibility to protect, R2P. That's another principle of international law that is so relevant to this, our freedom that we are looking for recognition. This one holds that sovereignty is not absolute. That when a state fails to protect its population from mass atrocities, the international community has a responsibility to intervene. That is the reason you see Donald Trump boldly coming out and saying he is going to send military to attack the terrorists in Nigeria. And they were jumping out to say he doesn't have the right. They jump out because they are not aware of this international law, the responsibility to protect. They don't know because Nigerians don't read. They believe on what third-party information will give to them. Responsibility to protect law is typically discussed in the context of humanitarian intervention. You see, but if a government cannot protect its own citizen, and that population has clearly expressed it will govern itself, then what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Why are we governing ourselves? So that we can protect ourselves under that law. And international community have the right. Now that Nigeria has been designated as CPC, everyone then is free to support Biafra. Go to our website. And we Biafrans, what are we doing? Are we sharing our website? The fact is, Biafrans, we deserve freedom and self-determination. That's what we want. We are not asking for anything that is difficult. We are not. The time is now. My co-host, you have the mic, please.
Yes, thank you very, very much. In fact, a whole lot of people have a thing to say, and you have actually hit much of the point of which, you begin to have a look to it. Number one, you begin to have a look to what brought a marriage together has actually been defied, has actually comes to an end in 2014. It was quite pathetic that even Jonathan that's supposed to have brought this on the table was not responsible to do that. And now, why will you be binding a relationship that has already be expired? No, see, the other man, official that was talking trash, as far as I'm concerned, is talking trash because he never owns the territory of this indigenous. And even as at this morning, you can see from the Bono governor that was escalating what actually happened. 4 people being killed, among which is 2 clergymen. So he is not the owner of the land. We are the one being victimized here, and we understand the genocide that's been carried out over the Christians, and even now that is being escalated from the north. This was point blank was pointed out by our Oyendu, by the talent and the privilege of the grace of God over his life to expose the intention of the jihadists, with the target of the Gulf of Guinea to dip the Quran down to the river there, with the target of how to have the complete control of that region. Their target is not the Middle Belt. Their target is not even the so-called their Yoruba axis, except down to the axis of their Lagos waterway to connect the Gulf of Guinea. But the truth of the matter is that you can't just force us together by all standard. This is an expired something. Our conscience was not brought to table, and it has expired, and no one is talking. And our Oyendu raised a voice right from that and drawing the attention of the UN for a referendum for which they couldn't do anything. And we are so happy to have a good leader that has a focus of our leader in mind, coming up to do the needful, and we didn't just jump into it. Everything were followed by legal, and every structure that need to bring what we are fighting on board now has actually been made provision for through the BRGIE has actually showed that the responsibility of doing everything legally. So the UN, as far as their treaty is concerned, we are not infringing into it. We were doing everything according to the law they signed, that the Nigeria is a signatory to. So of which no, they need to respect, and that is why we are drawing the international community that know the marriage that expire can no longer continue. We need to divorce, and we are never seek for war. We have been fought even over the year for 58 years and above, and the genocide has cascaded down to what has now been to every region, and every indigenous are now feeling the heat. Who within the region has been killed like Biafrans is a question to their conscience that they can answer. Which of the region has lost souls of millions like Biafrans? So it's not a matter of whether we need to wait for anybody. We can't wait for them. We were never consulted before they force us into illegal marriage and illegal relationship, illegal entity. A contraction that puts every junks together, no, for us to live anyhow. As the international community that brought us together under the British Empire are taking advantage of the so-called the entity, and the so very pathetic that the so-called black man cannot just figure out something that no, they need to come out of the house of exile. They need to come out from the home of slavery. They need to come out from even the bondage they were forced into. Then you are now negotiating your bondage to continue in it. Biafrans have taken a bold step legally, and we are open and very much wide to cooperate with every international community that is ready to do a business with us, and to have a safe trade, a safe haven where we can relate together. And we are not going to be a burden to anyone, but rather we are going to be impactful to any country that come to do business with us. Our record is open in the world. Our record is open virtually in every capacity of human endeavor. Biafra has really thrived well. So when it comes to resources, which resources are they even talking about? Is it the one that Tinubu want to that they?
Can you hear me?
I beg. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
please wrap up so that I can bring down this place. It's more than 2 hours. Your submission.
No problem. Let me hang on my map and give opportunity to open the number and Rage and Fury. Open the number. You pick up the mic and Rage. You take a minute to make your submission. Thank you.
Please, 2 minutes so that it has already passed. Yeah.
Observed. Please, before because when speech is going, there are things we need to remind our people when some questions people are asking, because we have answer to remind them, not just answer, but what is already in place. You know, and the people that are coming to other questions are the people, most of them are coming from that region. When someone can tell you want to break country, you want to break the region, you want to break the unity, you ask them, what about the 12 states in the north that already separated, have their own law, have their own state police, manage the resources and sharing it on themselves? What about that? What is that not division? Are they not already have everything that country needed to run on their own? You know, because the hypocrite among these Nigerians, it pisses me off. If I want to be replying them with action, not just talk. That's why when they bring some of these questions, we answer them with action. The action that will tell them that yes, we are ready to crush you when you stand on our way. That is what I really need. Because when they're asking their questions, you see the hypocrite in them. You see that they are evil to the core that need to be responded in a very aggressive way, proportionally to their action. And again, listen, we are like Mandy said everything. They said everything. That is why we don't care. When we are dying, some of you we are mocking us. Even some of you said that the Biafra issue, genocide is a lie. So we are faking it, that we are crying victim. We are so many of you say nonsense. You know, even look at this one happen now. What did the Muslim can for more than 12 years calling everybody? You are calling us Biafra, the Biafra, castigating us. Now,
Okay, please wrap up, wrap up. Thank
so
you.
we don't have time to well wait for anybody. Anybody ask us, go and face your own kind of own cross. Okay, nobody should come and ask us that nonsensical question or say, although they won't say it for me, I will know how to respond to them. So, Biafrans, we must focus. Know that what we need now is not to listen to any garbage or any nonsensical human being. We focus on those who care about us and we fight our freedom. That is what we need. No apology to anybody. Thank you.
There, well, thank you so much. Yeah, Rage and Fury, 2 minutes wrap up, please. Rage, are you there?
Yes, yes, I am here. Can you please kindly repeat that question?
No, I did not ask any question. I was just, responding to the argument that some people are tweeting. Yeah, before I end it. Which question?
Okay,
Is it the one
okay.
you
I think you were talking, the one you were saying that they are talking about the breaking of Nigeria, right? That's what we were. Okay, let me speak on that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There was no question
Oh,
like that.
okay, you spoke about people, the argument that calling
Yeah,
for the recognition of Biafra.
I was trying to clear and answer them. So, yeah, if you want to speak,
Okay, so
just 2 minutes, please.
okay, thank you very much. Calling that they are breaking Nigeria. The Nigeria has already been broken already because in the minds of the people, Nigeria has divided because it's not the kind of treatment that is given to a Yoruba Fulani or Hausa Fulani that is given to a Biafra. So in the heart of the people, there's division, there's this unfair treatment to any of the regions. So there's this division. So any people that are coming with this line of thought, probably they don't even have any valid reason or force not going. That is why they come up with stuff like this. And there was something that my mom and Stella was talking about earlier. I forgot to know. There's something I really wanted to add to it. After he added that before you were talking about those that are saying that the recognition of Biafra is calling for the breaking of Nigeria. I can't remember, but there's something I really needed to add to that. But I forgot to share. Thank you very much. Nigeria has divided in the heart of the
Okay.
it has disintegrated in the heart of the people already.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all the speakers. Yeah, we've extended it. We added extra 15 minutes. I believe I'm not supposed to extend it to that time, but I couldn't help it. Yes. So thank you so much, my co-host and all the listeners. And let me just say hi to others that joined before we close. Oh, Tottiville, Ndewo, Ekomdo. Hey, we are about to end this space. Cyprian Ekomdo, Veteran Ekomdo, Biafra Liaison Ekomdo. Oh, Nsi Yaimpo Ekomdo, Mami Ekomdo. Ekomdo Pupro Solomon Wabia Onyejua Ekomdo, Alpha Dong, we pray Ekomdo. My people, go to the website. Even those that are listening anonymously, go to the website, click our website, www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org, all in small letter, no space. Go there, you see a button for donate, you will see button for IOU. If you give us IOU, hate all that we have in the Gulf of Guinea. We are so rich with resources. You see, it's not only oil. I mentioned all the minerals that we have there. So that is why if you give us 10,000 ejema or take 1,000 ejema, we are going to give you double because we have the resources. All that Nigeria is stealing is from Biafra land. Nigeria don't have any resources. We are the owners of those resources. And when they sell them, they use the money to fund terrorism. Okay, thank you so much. Share our website, advertise what you have. God bless each and every one of you. It was a nice time being with you in this space. I love you. Good night from here.
Ndewonu. Ndewonu, unu shiakwala ya. Unu shiakwala ya. Kedu ebe unu nọ? How are you guys doing? Tata bụ fundraising. You share go flyer fundraising. Have you shared it? Have you supported what we are doing? Kekime. How are you doing?
our lobbies that are not waiting. De facto government needs us to also support. Go and contact your admin. The link has been shared again. Go and join your Telegram group, because it is the homeland that we want to liberate. Go and join your admin. Go and join your state link in the Telegram. Click it and join, so that you'll be carried along and you know what is happening. Get involved. It is your responsibility as a Biafran to source for information, and then to get the proper information, and then you join the right Telegram group. Don't expect somebody to spoon feed you. This freedom, each and every one of us need the freedom. Get up, wake up, and then move. Find out something, identify something, and let what you have identified give you direction. Yes, don't expect us to come here every time and preach the same gospel, lead you. No, we were not going to do that for a very long time. You have to discover things for yourself, because it is your freedom as well. You have to fight for it. You have to do everything humanly possible to make sure we get recognized. You heard from what our Gunter said yesterday in the program of our AP that he hosted, our APM. Yes, go back and listen. I will also play some parts here that relate with what we are going to talk about. He's so proud of our APM today. He called him a powerful man. He's so proud of him. So those of accountability and those that pulled away, that has been ridiculing our APM, should know that he's a man of caliber. His level has upgraded so far. So you don't need to eat and come and clean your hands on his cloth anymore. A Westerner has recognized him as a very powerful man. And even, even when I have APM is saying his APM is still calling him PM. Yes, APM is saying, no, I am the acting prime minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. You know what? He is not after position, he's not after title. Yes, he still acknowledged himself as the APM, while others have started, picking that as a content. Hey, he's now calling himself, they're addressing him as PM. Anybody can address him with any title you feel like. Yes, doesn't he deserve it? You can address him with any title that drops in your mind at that time. That is not the problem of our APM now. The problem of our government now is funding. Funding your freedom, funding your liberation. Yes, so we are not playing or seeking for freedom, or using title or academic qualification to fight for our freedom. No, that is not what we are doing. If you think freedom is based on qualification, let Choma Okoma show us what she has done. Let Rubbish Nadi show us what they have done with their qualification. But since they did not merit, they did not earn it, they did not merit it, they bought their certificate. That is why you see them behave like even babies that are sucking their mother's breast, they have brain more than them. So that is what I want to tell us now, that it is BRGIE. If it is not BRGIE, it is not BRGIE. So find a way and identify yourself and fall on the same track with everyone, because BRGIE is the only legitimate government that will make sure they take us to our promised land, that will also make sure we get recognition. So I welcome each and every one of you. We are going to talk very, very brief, very, very brief. I will be throwing question. Anybody that is able can answer the question, but please stick to the question. It's going to be an open-ended question. It will allow you to elaborate on your point, but please don't take the whole day. I don't want to spend more than 2 hours in this space, so that anybody that wants to replay can replay and know that he or she is going to spend just 2 hours, to listen to what we discuss, and also to create chance for any other person, because we need to be talking to Biafrans. So this night we are going to discuss something that affects not just millions of people in the Biafra territory, but has profound implication for global security, international trade as well, and the fight against terrorism worldwide. That is why we've gathered here. So I want to be very, very clear. Our housekeeping rule still remains. Please do not interject anyone. And if you are just joining us, I welcome each and every one of you. Kindly share the space. It is free to share. This conversation is specifically about Biafra. We have to get our freedom first. We are not going to focus on what is happening in other African countries because they are not a problem. They will not give us freedom right now. We have to grab this freedom first. So we are going to focus our discussion on Biafra. It is Biafra that needs freedom. We don't know if other region needs freedom. So we are going to focus on Biafra, please. We are not here to discuss Pan-Africa issue or the broader continent problem. No. Because while American Union has chosen to turn a blind eye to what is happening, even denying documented atrocities. So the people of Biafra cannot afford to wait for international or continental solidarity that may never come. So we have to grab our freedom first. Because when your house is on fire, you don't wait for the entire neighborhood to acknowledge the flame before you call for help. We saw what happened in December 2nd that we declared our independence, and we concluded with over 40 million votes that was ratified by 517 delegates. So it is our problem. It is not the continent problem. Our freedom is our problem. Yes, we did not hesitate to make that decision because we know that help can never come from anywhere. It is our problem. So that was democracy that we displayed, the will of the people. The will of the people that have endured decades of marginalization, decades of violence and systematic persecution. That was the will that we displayed on that day. So before I give the mic to my co-host to greet the house, let's just look at what we'll be talking about. If time permits, we see how it goes. It's going to be very, very brief. So we are going to, demonstrate why Biafra recognition serves global security interests, particularly regarding terrorism and extremism. So we are also going to expose the strategic importance of the Gulf of Guinea and why Biafra stability is crucial to international trade. And then we already have evidence that if time permits, but we already know the ongoing violence that is happening and why the international community cannot continue to ignore this crisis. And then we also discuss why and show why Biafra would be a valuable ally that will bring a stability to the Biafra people first. Yes, it is us first, it is Biafra first. And what exactly are we supposed to do as Biafrans? What are we supposed to do? So those are the areas we'll be covering these few hours that we have left. So I will give the mic to my co-host to greet Biafrans, and then we continue. So my co-host, thank you so much. You have the mic now. You are welcome.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Madam Tuto. I want to appreciate the privilege. It's always a honor to be on this platform and be a co-host with you. It's not a matter of right, but just a matter of privilege. Thank you for that. Uh, I want to seize this opportunity to as well greet every single one in the house that your presence has really become a source of encouragement, and your contribution and your standing by has really been a sort of strength as well. So we want to as well appreciate every single one of you that has been much impactful to all our ministers, just as my host rightly welcome to them that will still be on the way to join us and that will listen after. We acknowledge your presence and we want to say thank you. We will not leave our BDF, they really stand by, because while we are at the top edge of this diplomatic engagement, the homeland needs to be on standby. So their impact is really counting for us to see that no, our borderline are secured, and this is happening because your impact is very, very essential by funding them. So we appreciate them, their sacrifice, and all that they do for us. So I want to appreciate and to welcome every single one that I'm seeing here. I welcome you, especially Augustina Ugo, CEO Shekina. I want to welcome Mighty Val. I want to appreciate you, Ben Wabo. You are welcome, OIZ, Simon Epper. I appreciate you coming here, Biafra Lizen, Malaysia. Biafra Freedom Energy Tech. I want to appreciate you, Onye Jiwaka Ani. Sorry if I didn't pronounce the name well. Bear with me. Storm, you are welcome. EC, you are welcome. God's Mercy, you are welcome. Simon Eppa Et, you are welcome. Emekazi RV, you are welcome. Radiant Fury, you are welcome. And to us, many
Welcome,
others that will be
welcome,
joining us,
welcome, everybody.
we
Share
welcome
it.
you.
Share
So
it as you are
why
joining us.
So please try and then prepare.
Share
Let me
it
just read the question in case
and write
you
hashtag
want
Queen
to
Nandi
prepare
Kanu now.
before you answer the question. Now, the question that will come under this section will be, if a group of people held a referendum and over 50 million voted for independence, more than participate in many countries' national elections, does the international community have a moral obligation at least hear their case? I want you to share your thought. I'm going to read the question again. If a group of people held a referendum and over 50 million voted for independence, this number is more than those that participate in many countries' election. Okay, so does the international community have a moral obligation at least hear their case? I want you to share your thoughts. So while I start, you put this question in your mind while you are listening to this section so that you have an answer to give when we reach that place. And please, you are not going to spend too much time when you are giving the answer so that we manage the 2 hours we will spend in this space. So I just want to quickly go to the historical and current crisis that we have now, because we know that Biafra existed as a recognized entity for centuries. And we've seen the early maps of Africa from the 15th to 19th centuries drawn by explorers and also travelers. And we saw different names on those maps. We saw Biafra, B-I-A-F-A-R, we saw Biafra, we saw Biafra, and then we saw Biafes. And then, this was not a colonial invasion. It was a real place with a real history, real culture, not fake culture, and real identity long before the British now created this company they call Nigeria. This killing field they called Nigeria. Excuse me. So Biafra was an ancient kingdom. Why am I doing this? For the sake of those that may join our space or will listen to our space later on. So it's just a very brief historic overview about Biafra. All right, so Biafra was an ancient kingdom with travelers who have documented this scene about Biafra from the 15th through the 19th centuries. So, and then British now forcefully subjugated us into this Nigerian colonial project, this their business company. And the current push for independence is not about creating something new. It's not that Biafra is new, no. It's about restoring something that was taken away. Our freedom was taken away from us. Our identity were taken away from us. Our passion, our culture, everything about Biafra, Britain took it away from us and they made us into this contraption and killing field called ex-Nigeria. So we all know what happened during the Nigerian Civil War. After Biafra's first declaration of independence, Nigeria responded by seeking genocide against the Biafra people. And they killed more than 300,000 people outrightly, and then starting to starve more than 5 million children, men and women through a land and sea blockade. Now, that was the number. It is even more than that. It is more than that. And we could see that they did not end this Usman Danfodio conquest, because that is what propagated or escalated the genocide, because they were doing everything possible to make sure that kingdom and quest of Usman Danfodio does not collapse. And that was the main reason why they had to push Buhari. Buhari was one of the perpetrators of the Biafran genocide, and Buhari now had to use his legacy from that war to propel himself twice into the Nigerian presidency. And both times, Buhari had to unleash Islamist militias into the region to slaughter Christians, Biafrans. Yes, because when they say Christians are being killed, it is Biafrans that are being killed. So imagine someone, imagine just living under a government led by someone who participated in the genocide of our people. Two good times. Two good times. So this is the reality that Biafrans have endured. And then we now said enough is enough. We cannot continue like that because the situation today is not better. It is not better. It is worse because it has been ignored. They ignored the first time, and this second time, even though it did not stop, it's still being ignored until when US now rose up through the information and the documentation of Biafra Republic government. US now rose up and said, enough is enough. And we know that they're doing everything possible. They are going to use all the tools to make sure that they bring these perpetrators, sanction them, and then deal with them decisively. So the violence is ongoing, systematic, and escalating every day. So while these are debates, while there are so many debates, you can come to social media, especially in the X, you see they are debating about specific numbers and their sources. This one will come out and say, no, it is not true, like African Union, where I will play their video later. What is undeniable is that violence continues in our region, Biafra land, because we've seen multiple international organizations recording all these things, having data, and we've heard the data so many times. Even though the data has also increased, the numbers have increased, the pattern is very clear, the same pattern. We've seen communities that are under siege from multiple violent actors, from different terrorist groups. Now in Nigeria, they have 22 terrorist groups in Nigeria alone. So we have seen, and that is why self-determination matters right now. As our APM said last night, the time is now. The time is now. You could see, we talked about this last time, about the United Nations 1933 Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of State set forth clear criteria for statehood. And we discussed, I just want to make a review that we have met all these criteria. They said a defined population, an effective government, the ability to enter into foreign relations, and control of territory, and respect for human rights and self-determination. We have met this criteria. We have met this criteria, my people. Biafrans have met the criteria. Even though we don't really, we know that there are some pressures from the Nigerian state, which we know Amina is there, Pantami is there, to press button and, silence the voice of self-defense, or self-determination in UN. We know maybe sometime, maybe later, UN will come back to their senses. Yes, but for now, we don't see them respond because of the pressure of Amina and Pantami and every other terrorist that are seated in all the committees in the UN. Because when we call for recognition of Biafra, we are not calling for conflict. It is about acknowledging reality on the ground and preventing further bloodshed. Because when peoples are incompatible to the point of persistent violence over decades, Buhari came and ignited it more, forcing us to remain together. Is a problem. It is a problem. We cannot. We cannot. We cannot. I just want to ask this first question before we continue to the next phase, which I'm going to, talk about the Gulf of Guinea. The question comes again. I don't know who is ready to answer that question, because the question is, if a group of people held a referendum and over 50 million voted for independence, more than those that participate in general election in any country, does the international community have a moral obligation to at least hear the case of this group of people? So please go straight to the answer, give the answer, and please don't take more than 2 minutes so that we can, other people may want to answer. Thank you so much. My co-host, I saw your hand raised up. You want to start?
Keep sharing, keep sharing. Good morning. Remember, today is BLA fundraising. Go and buy pure water for the guys.
My co-host, can you hear me? I think it's let me check if you are
Good
sending a
morning,
message to
everybody.
me.
I see your
Yeah, who
comment.
else wants to answer the question before I continue? Did you hear the question? Should I read again? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Keep sharing.
Can anybody hear me?
Everybody.
Okay.
Good morning. Thank you.
Who is ready to answer the question, please? Hold on, Onyeka, I'm sending the mic to you. Who is ready to answer the question? Okay, this is the question before we continue. The question says, yeah, I can hear you. I want to. Okay. The question says, if a group of people held a referendum, like us, Biafra, and over 50 million voted for independence, this number is more than those that participate in many countries in national elections. The question is, does the international community have a moral obligation to at least hear the case of people like this, which us, we now put ourselves the Biafrans? That is the question. So please go straight to the point. Thank you.
Simply, they have, if they are truly practice what they preach, respecting human rights and understand the right of majority, which is a law, they ought to at least hear them that that number is not just a number. That number is number of more than 5 countries in the world. The country that is below 5 million. Okay? They truly practice what they preach. It is their duty to hear the people. That number is very, very massive. It's vast majority, okay, of the people that say so, and which majority is that is vast majority. Okay? So they have both they truly sincere with what they preach to hear the people out, because for such people to vote, even in the situation whereby their life is being threatened in Biafra and they come out and vote in mass. Even if there's a very playing ground where their life are not threatened, that would have more than that. So they have what it is if they're sincere to hear the people out. And I think that number is the message to the world, and that is the mandate given to BRGIE, and that mandate means bring us Biafra. Yes, tell Donald Trump to recognize us and flush out every presence of Nigeria in Biafra territory. That is the message by that majority. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's about the numbers, and that is what we've given the legitimacy to our Biafra Republic government in exile to go ahead and do whatever they can do within their power to make sure Biafra is restored. And we also have a role to play, not only the government, we also have to make sure we contribute our Eje and Ejema, because it is only the Biafra Republic government in exile that is making these waves. Thank you so much. Reg and Free, you want to answer? Please go ahead.
Okay, Madam Tutos, am I coming out?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much, my dear sister. Greetings to you, great BIAFRANS. As a matter of fact, a true democracy is the representation of the will of the people, yeah? So over 50 million is not 50,000. That is the true representation of the will of the people. And if truly democracy is to be upheld, that decision must be considered. Because when you talk of the will of the people, has nothing to do with what the few politicians who have been bought over and they are serving as stooges to bring in the enemies or terrorists to kill our people. It's not what they say that is the will of the people. The will of the people, this is why we are always against Nigeria, because the amalgamation of Nigeria has nothing to do with the consent or a national census vote
It has something to do with national vote from the people. So it was like the people were forced together. Just look at the people that they say they are our founding father, Awolowo, Azikiwe, and I learned that at that very age, some of them were 15 years, some of them were 16 years, some of them were 30 years. What does a 16 years old child know, or 15 years old child know? You understand? So when you want to uphold democracy, this over 50 million self-referendum vote conducted by the Biafran people must be considered by the international community. But anything that makes them ignore it, it means that we are in neo-colonialism. You understand? It means that we are being forced to be who we are not. So I think that is the question. That is the answer I can really give to that question. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
Yeah, well, thank you for your submission. Thank you so much. Onyisi, are you there? You want to answer?
Yes, I want to come into that answering of if actually if that would be a hindrance. Number one is this: where we actually recognized by the people, we actually voted. We have a database. It's something that nobody should look into as being ignored over. There's a database where people made their vote, one man, one vote. It is not like a Nigerian system where this were counted. So the one thing they should know is, was it counted? Yes. Were people voted? Yes. Because it was a database vote acknowledgement, because people took vote on it. It was recorded. It is not something like it is a imaginary something. So asking this question is like, are they sure? Does the government has an evidence of it? We have an evidence of voting. It was one man, one vote. So in other words, the UN or whoever wants to look into these aspects should know as of it, or request for a database and evidence of it. That's number one. Number two, you see, in the case of this country called Zoo Nigeria, they play politics, and I want to be sincere. We have to learn how to play politics with them. We understand the politics of the whites, and we should play the same politics.
Yeah, thank you. I think you are answering a different thing now. Thank you so much. And you see, we've not reached there. Yeah, please focus on the question. Please focus on the question. God bless you. Thank you. I think you've even exceeded the 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Roland, do you want to answer the question before we go to the next one? Please, let's focus on the question. I'm only going to spend 2 hours in this space, please. And then let's manage the time. Thank you. Onyisi, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Tutor. Firstly, please, what we are doing is very, very essential. People will listen to this message hereafter. If you are sincere with this fight, please share the space. If you know what we are doing is very, very, very good, please share the space. If you are genuine,
How many of you have shared this
it's very essential. Now, going straight to the question,
how many of you have liked it? How many of you have
if you go to the UN Charter, it is clearly written there that the rule for voting and referendum, a referendum is a direct vote on specific questions. And if you remember, there were questions not that they force people. The question is there. If you are willing to come out of this oppression of ex-Nigeria to have your own geographical location voted for as a nation, they answered it. So it's the most common and international recognized method for territory to express his will regarding to his political status. So it is clear that no people voted, and if people voted, why will international body not take this as a privilege to see the will of majority? In 50 million above, and were ratified with 517. And this should be a yardstick checking the antecedent of what is happening in ex-Nigeria. In fact, they in their own political terrain, they've not gotten any measure of number of votes of such in their political affair. But right there, that people are willing to come out of slavery and to have their own freedom. People make votes and the vote counted and ratified. So the international community, if there is any document they need to look into from BRGIE, the government that is embodiment in Maryland, they should go through the document of the will of the people, the will of the majority, the will of more than 50 million. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my co-host, for your answer and submission. Yeah, this also is a forum to tell. I've been hearing some Biafra say, hey, they should give us date for referendum. We cannot do referendum twice. We have done a referendum, so Biafra should not be calling for referendum. Things don't work like that. We spent a lot of resources and time. So for people to be coming out to say, hey, let UN come, give us time for it. We don't want, we've conducted a referendum and we have the document to that effect. So there's nothing like conducting referendum. Any other region in Nigeria can do that for themselves. But for Biafrans, there is no more referendum. We have passed that level. We have the document. Excuse me.
Can I say something?
No, please. No, please. Thank you.
Please, Madam Tutos, I don't know if I can just add a little, please, on this line.
Stop
So,
it.
please, let's be civilized people, please. Please. Where did I even stop, Seth?
Yeah, go ahead. You were talking about the ratification that has already been carried out. You have talked about no more doing it again. We have,
No
you
more
have gotten a
referendum.
lawful document that can be looked
Exactly.
into.
No more referendum. We have the document to back up what we need. So no Biafrans, especially those with BRGIE headed by our APM Ogechukwu Nkere, should be making comment to say by saying, hey, let them conduct a new referendum, a fixed date. UN is not coming to help you now. Because every other, did you hear UN speak about the genocide going on? Nobody cares. You are on your own. And that was why our government made sure that we conducted a referendum. The database is there. It has been ratified by 517 delegates. The evidence are out there. So no more referendum. We have even passed the level of referendum. We've moved ahead because that is the document that our government is using. Yeah. So that is the reason they must listen to us. More than 50 million. The highest in the whole wide world. So, Onyisi, I don't know if you want to continue. You have just 1 minute if you want to add to your answer. Please go ahead, Onyisi. 1 minute, please.
Okay, can I go ahead?
I just want, okay, my brother, I just want to say a certain word very clear. You see, we are all educated. It's a simple thing. The even people who are saying these things are educated. They expected a simple answer from us because in our own perspective, in my own perspective, there's a government, and without the government, they wouldn't come to this stage. CPC won't come to this stage. Trump wouldn't come to the stage of CPC. The international body wouldn't come to the stage of sanctioning the country Nigeria. There's a government. We all understand this. It's a simple thing. They know this. They're expecting a government to speak. We are all intelligent. We're all very exposed. It's a simple thing. We have a government. The government that brought this acknowledgement, it wasn't Nigerian government. It wasn't the zoo government. It wasn't the DOS. It wasn't the USB. It is the BRGIE. Simple way. There is a government that makes the government no understood, because the international body understand that before you bring sentiment or bring something to the UN, somebody must bring it to the table. It's a simple thing. There was election. Simple thing. Go to our database. Do the rectification. This is not a gambling. It is one man, one vote. A simple thing. We voted. So if you say we didn't vote, let them look at the database, look at the data, look at everything. It's a simple thing. So asking this question to me is irrelevant, because one, asking for a second vote, no preview. But me, I said, there is already a vote that took place.
Hold on. Don't say it is irrelevant. We are here to discuss. It's an
Yes,
interactive question. So don't say this question is
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're here to discuss.
Thank you so much. Please let's mind our language. We are in the public space. Let's mind our language, please. Rage and Free, what do you want to add before I continue?
I'm not using a vocal language. I'm using a very simple language. I'm not using a vocal language.
Can you hear me?
Rage,
Can you hear me? Okay, what I actually wanted to ask is in line with what you were saying, that we don't need another referendum. You know, we are peaceful people, and I strongly believe that even if this referendum is conducted another 10 times, our people will still come out en masse and vote massively. You understand? But on the condition that if the international community will be the one to sponsor it, to be responsible for the capital, give everybody a level playing ground. Let us go and speak to our people that they should continue what they did before, that we need to be on our own, and let those that believe in the foreign entity that is owned by the stranger, let them go and speak to their people.
Rage, I'm sorry we are not conducting any other referendum. We have done a referendum and that's it.
Sister Toti, please, with due respect.
Not going back. Onyisi, please, I'll remove you from the mic. You're interrupting me.
Hello, please, please, I want to, please, my host, please, excuse me. Please, I want to let every one of us conduct ourselves here. We are not in a town hall time. Please, this is a public space whereby people you don't expect, they are watching and they are listening. Please, when you are given a mic, honor that. And if you are given a time, keep to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my co-host. So that chapter is closed. We are no more conducting any referendum. We've done it. There's nothing like this one, come and observe, that one, don't come and observe. Referendum has been done for the Biafra people. There is no half referendum or going to start all over again. We have ended it and we had more than 50 million votes from Biafrans. So that sector is completely closed. Nobody is visiting that area anymore. Now, let's listen, as we want to go to the next session of the space discussion this evening. We are going to look at the Gulf of Guinea and how important it is. A Biafra's strategic importance to us. It's very, very important to Biafrans. So we have to really understand what is happening in the Gulf of Guinea, because it is in Biafra land, and the vulnerability it has if the terrorists should take over this area. So we must do everything possible to make sure we protect the Gulf of Guinea. It is in the Biafra territory. So let's listen.
You're welcome for freedom.
Thank you. The recording has stopped. Hold on.
Keep sharing. They want good morning.
Commit no crime. And our leader, Marcy Simon Ekpa from Finland, he needs to be released. He's just a freedom fighter. Every country in the world fought for their freedom. United States of America fought for their freedom 1776 from the Great Britain. So Biafra is fighting a just cause for freedom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. All the best from Austria, from Vienna. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome for freedom.
Know that the Gulf of Guinea, they will disrupt trade. For example, capture Biafra land. Not that state, because it's a terrorist state. With these terrorists, if they, for example, capture Biafra land, know that the Gulf of Guinea, they will disrupt trade. But we Biafran will resist. We will make sure that we are free, and we want to remind them that when it comes to the business interest, we are open to negotiate, to do business with them. I think we will be the best ally to make sure that from the West African Sahel, we will checkmate the terrorists. Because what they are doing, they're trying to capture both Biafra land, Nigeria, all the surrounding West Africa, especially Biafra land, to attack EU from there. They should recognize Biafra so that we all can counter this terrorism and fight together. Thank you. The time is now. Biafra is here, and our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be released.
The time is now, and Biafra is here. So I just wanted us to listen to that message from our APM. Yeah, so we have to understand, very brave, the Gulf of Guinea. So we want to just use this a few minutes to talk about why the world should care from a purely strategic standpoint. And then what is that area we want to talk about now? It is the Gulf of Guinea. So it is the one of the vital maritime region in Biafra land. It is in Biafra land. Yes. You can also Google and they have more information about the Gulf of Guinea because it spans over 6,000 kilometers of coastal line across 19 states and is rich in natural resources, including the reserve gas. And when I looked at the percentage of the reserve gas, it's 2.7% of total world reserve. It is in that Gulf of Guinea. And the oil is 4.5%. So they also have valuable minerals. They have diamonds are there, tins are there, bauxite are there, manganese are there, cobalt are there. So it's not just about Africans' wealth. This is why everybody must come together and recognize Biafra. It's about global energy security. Because if the Gulf of Guinea is taken over by the terrorists, hey, it is not only Biafra people that will feel the heat. Because it has this many mineral supplies that powers everything from the smartphone that we are carrying to electric vehicles. All of them come from the Gulf of Guinea. And where is it? It is in Biafra land. That Gulf of Guinea is like egg to us. It is vulnerable as we speak right now. Because when you go back to January 1st, this last year 2024, we saw Nigerian pirates attack the Hana 1. It was attacked. There's a small chemical tanker sailing through the waters of Equatorial Guinea, and they kidnapped 9 crew members. Yes, 9 crew members were kidnapped. So that is why we Biafrans must resist. You hear when our APM said, we must resist these terrorists so that they don't take over this Gulf of Guinea. Because if they take over, they will attack Europe as well. We've seen a lot of piracy going on there. We've seen a lot of armed robbery going on there. We've seen a lot of kidnapping for ransom going on there. And this has posed a serious threat to the vessel transiting the Gulf of Guinea. With pirates, everything that you can just imagine, everything evil is happening because terrorists are there. And who are these terrorists working for? They are working for the Nigerian terrorist government. Yes. Remember last time I was talking about networking. This is the hub of it. You understand? So if you just look at it, it's like that place is a global commerce area for everyone. Because every day ships are carrying goods worth of billions of dollars, they transit these waters. So shipping companies now, if anything happens to that area, now they have to use a different route to make sure that these goods get to the customers. And what does that mean? There's going to be increase in the amount of the prices of goods. Because of what? Taking another route due to the action of the terrorists that have taken over the area. You see what is happening? So it's not only Biafra people that will feel it. You are going to see that it's going to affect the prices at grocery stores in London, in everywhere, in New York, everywhere, even in some of the African countries. Because terrorists have taken over. Look at what is happening in Castina. Did you hear the news? The terrorists have told them to pay 20 million naira to be able to have access to their own farmland. And when I went back to the news late last night, I saw them that they are beginning to sell their properties to be able to raise the 20 million naira. Now tell me, who are those that are buying their properties? If they sell their properties, where will they live? Where will they live? Who are those buying these properties? So there is a terrorism connection in the Gulf of Guinea. Yes, because the regional leaders have acknowledged insecurity as the region's most urgent concern in the Gulf of Guinea, with terrorists becoming increasingly aggressive every day and using all sophisticated weapons. Even drones, they are using it. With violent extremism going on there, organized crime, spreading beyond the Sahel to the northern Benin, Togo, and the Gulf of Guinea countries. Everything is happening in that region. But you could see terrorist group in Nigeria. You could see Boko-H, they are there. ISWAP, they are there. All the affiliated terrorist group, they are there in the Gulf of Guinea. And these people are connected to international terrorist network that we discussed, I think, last week or so. And they are trading weapons in that region. They are sharing intelligence in that region. They coordinate their operations in that region. So if they gain control, if they gain greater control, more than what they have now, over the Gulf of Guinea waters, they are gaining funding, more funding. More funding, they will take over. That means more weapons will be smuggled through that route. That is what is going to happen. So if the terrorists take over the Gulf of Guinea, which is in Biafra land, is going to impact the trade. That is what our APM said last night. Because more shipping companies would face impossible choices, as I've said. Prices of goods will increase. Because they are going to pay massive ransom and protection money. If the terrorists can impose, tax on people, local people in Nigeria, like Katsina, I just made reference to, what do you think? What will be the amount of levy that they will place on these international shipping companies operating in the Gulf of Guinea, transporting goods across the water? How much do you think they will pay? And for how long will this company pay? How long will they pay? So if they cannot pay, they are going to avoid that region completely and take another route. You see? And that will also increase weeks of the shipment time. Billions of naira or dollars will be spent as well. So the global chain already is fragile, not to talk of when the terrorists now bring their own levy on top of it. That is what is going to happen. It's also going to affect energy. There's going to be energy impact as well. Because as I said before, the Gulf of Guinea holds how many percentage? 2.7% of global gas reserves and 4.5% of oil reserve. So if extraction and shipping from this region becomes too dangerous, or even fall into the hands of these terrorist monsters, what do you think will happen? Global energy market will be destabilized. We have seen what happens now when the energy supplies are disrupted. We can see that the price of petrol will increase. Economies will begin to suffer, and there will be tension everywhere. So imagine terrorists taking over that region, which is in Biafra land. What do you think will happen? So that is why international community must wake up now that Biafra said, we are ready, we have already exited Nigeria. Recognize us. Recognize us in the world, is for the world best interest. Recognize us. There is going to also be security spillover, because success in the Gulf of Guinea, it emboldens this terrorist group everywhere. Because it proves it that with enough violence persistent, they can control strategic maritime choke point. That is what they are going to do. They will control everywhere. They will even attempt the Red Sea as well, if this is not stopped. Millions of people will be displaced because it's going to be humanitarian catastrophe. Millions of people will be displaced. More refugee camp will be created, both in Europe and beyond. This thing that they're doing as right is not only going to affect Biafrans, it's going to affect everybody in the world, because we have seen how migration crisis can destabilize politics across the entire continent. That is what is going to happen. So a recognized stable Biafra is in everyone's interest, precisely because of this strategic location, the Gulf of Guinea. That is why our Biafra Republic government is saying that focus on building a prosperous nation that has every incentive to secure this maritime territory against pirates and terrorists. They are doing everything possible to make sure they develop strong partnership with the international maritime security forces because of this Gulf of Guinea. which is so important to us to preserve. That is why they are doing everything possible to have a prosperous nation that would establish effective law enforcement and judicial system and create what? Cooperation with global counter-terrorism effort, because that area must be protected. All the lands and territories in Biafra land must be protected. Our government, no other government, is committed to foster an environment designed to attract local and foreign investment. We heard when our APM said yesterday, a government and environment that will create and stimulate innovation, create opportunities for entrepreneurship, because we are skilled in that. As I said yesterday, we were skilled in trading, in skill work, everything before Britain now forced us together. So our government has consistently expressed willingness to cooperate with the international community. We've seen the engagement with the US senators and Congress members. What are they doing? Advocating. Our government is busy advocating for international recognition for Biafra sovereignty, which is a pathway to stability and peace in that whole region, in the whole of Sahel region. Because they recognize Biafra will become a stability force. We need it like say tomorrow, no day. Biafra Republic government in exile seeking for recognition will have a reliable partner in counter-terrorism, which US is a top-notch. They're already practicing it. We have seen it work in other places. They are going to share maritime security together. They are going to share, there will be economic development together. But what must be done? They have to recognize us as a sovereign nation. Because, as our APM said, we will do everything humanly possible to make sure that the Gulf of Guinea is not taken over by the terrorists. I have a question here. Again, and please, let's focus on this discussion question. If you want to answer this question, please stick to the time, because I'm really managing time to see how far we can go. And the question goes like this. It is an open-ended question. You can answer it the way you want. Please don't repeat what another person has said. Think of your own. It says, you are a security advisor to a major maritime shipping company. Please listen. We are going to solve problem now. Your ship transits the Gulf of Guinea regularly. Would you prefer to deal with a stable, internationally recognized Biafra focused on economic development, or continue chaos under current system where multiple armed groups operate with impunity? That is the question. Again, I'm going to read. Again, I'm going to read the question. You are place yourself as a security advisor to a major maritime shipping company. They've employed you. Your ship now that you use transits the Gulf of Guinea regularly, that is going to and fro every time. The question is, would you prefer to deal with a stable, internationally recognized Biafra that is focused on economic development, or would you continue chaos under a current system where multiple armed groups operate with impunity? Don't just tell me yes or no. It is an open, you must give me the why. Why do you choose this option? Why do you choose the other one? You have 2 minutes each. Onyeka, you have the mic now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You see, there's no humanistic life valued leader or ordinary that we see what is workable or what is good for the interest of humanity, that we ignore it to go what is good for self-interest while jeopardizing the life of others. In the sense that if you're a security officer, I'm a security officer who is in charge of that, I would like to deal with the nation, the country, or the authority that will actually help me to improve my duty, so to make the trade in that zone, to be safe, to be secure. So no true leader, no true country in this world who is sincere, that we abandon what Biafrans are presenting to continue in what Nigeria has been doing, that have made the life of the people, the area, to be hostile, that make many people lost their life in the hand of the parents in that particular Gulf of Guinea. So what Biafra are presenting is the solution, and the U.S. government, I think they are beginning to understand this. Okay, they begin to understand that you see, despite self-interests, you have to consider, not something that also for your interest, but also jeopardize the life of others or jeopardize your life as well. So in this regard, I think, or not I think, I know what Biafrans are presenting is the solution, which every humanistic, valued leader or country will embrace without wasting time. Thank you.
Thank you, Onyeka. But we did not hear the why. We did not hear your reason why. So reflect again and come back. My co-host, now you be Ghana, you have the mic.
Okay. Yes. Why I said that, because that particular region, that particular area, if you work with the people who will make you that place to be okay, security wise, it will help you also to improve your own trade or your own work or your own activities. Yes, that is why you need to support the country or authority or that will improve the safety of goods and services or movement in that particular area. In that regard, you have the option that support those who will make it workable than continue supporting those who make it to be disastrous. Thank you.
You've answered the why. Thank you so much. Thank you. Biafrans, if you are just joining, kindly share the space. Our senior citizen is here. Mama Stella, no, Ekomdo, Medio, Nlewe Mekomdo, Minister Love, Ekomdo, Medio, Medi Pupurowo, our senior of Furowo, Chidi Ebere, Ekomdo, Angela, Ekomdo to everyone that just joined now and those that will join later. Kindly share the space. We are not going to take a lot of time today. Thank you so much. Is there any other person that wants to answer the question? I didn't see any other hand that is up. Any other person? My co-host, I think, whether you are still there. My co-host, are you still there? Or
Yes,
have you
I'm
been
here.
taken?
I'm here. Just that no, I decided to drop my hand so that no other can speak. My light contribution is this: there is no very, very active business nation or a group of people or even a person that want to venture into a disastrous investment. So in that light, the first priority is the security. He will be thinking of how secure his investment will go. And in this regard, that is why you need to have what is called intelligence sharing between one particular nation to the other. And knowing fully well that that Gulf of Guinea is a very wide hub for this West African coast, that means that no, there will be a good relationship of intelligence sharing with a responsible government, not a terrorist government. And that is why we Biafran can be of a good ally to the world and even to anyone that do business with us, because we will be able to monitor intelligence sharing together to safeguard whatever transpire between one end to the other. For example, see what is happening between the nation of US and China. Russia. There was a particular ship that was coming, and because there is even a breach of intelligence sharing that has been withdrawn, yet they were still able to detect the atrocity that can be easily averted. So there is going to be a safe haven when Biafra is actually recognized and is fully operating as a nation. There will be intelligence sharing that will save everyone that can do business with us. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. That was another beautiful response to that. Yeah, so I think no other person wants to answer that question. Okay, so I am moving ahead. So let us know why we cannot wait for African unity on the issue of Biafra recognition. We cannot wait. Now let's listen.
In northern Nigeria, I think the complexity of the situation in northern Nigeria should push us think twice before declaring such or making such statements. The first victims of Boko Haram are Muslims, not Christians. The first victim, and I'm saying it with documented references. So the complexity in the northern part of Nigeria should not be taken, that easily. So what we are saying to those statements, with regard to those statements, is that the African continent is very complex. There is no genocide in northern Nigeria. I think the complexity of the situation in northern Nigeria should,
This is a Mahmoud Ali, African Union Commission chairperson. Let me continue what he said.
Push us think twice before declaring such or making such statements. The first victims of Boko Haram are Muslims, not Christians. The first victim, and I'm saying it with documented references. So the complexity in the northern part of Nigeria should not be taken, that easily. So what we are saying to those statements, with regard to those statements, is that the African continent is very complex. There is no genocide in northern Nigeria. I think the complexity of the situation in...
So, if you have been waiting for African Union to speak for you, or even conduct it or recognize you right now, you heard what they're saying. He made this statement, I can see the flag of UN behind him. Who is he? Let me read his name again. His name is Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, African Union Commission chairperson. These are the people that have collected money from the Nigerian terrorist government to be in all the committees in the United Nations. Now tell me, those of you that say, oh, African Union, let us carry other African countries along, who have spoken? Look at what Mahmoud is saying. He is working with Ali. What is his name? Her name, Amina Pantami. They have occupied all the seats in UN. They are not speaking for you. We can't wait for African unity on this issue. Because some of you will say, those of you that are joining us for the first time, you should walk through African institutions. You should ask African solutions to, you should, seek African solutions to African problem. Hey, it sounds very reasonable. But the reality is that they are already denying you that they are not killing you. Why? Because they are protecting their territory. They are protecting borders. They are protecting sovereignty. They don't care about you. That is why I said today's space and every other space is about Biafra. It is about us. We have to deliver ourselves first. We have to deliver ourselves first. It is about Biafra. We don't care what happens in other African countries because they don't care. None of them have open mouth to say, why are they killing Christians in Nigeria? Why are they killing Biafrans? Because they know we are the Christians that are being killed. No one. Imagine this man with bald head, coconut head, just the same head with a man Madabu, coming out to say in public that Muslims are the ones that are being killed more than Christians. Because what? Money has exchanged hands. If you look at his face, he looks like someone that practices cannibalism. He has no shame. Because Nigerian terrorist governments have given them money. African Union primary concern is maintaining existing borders and preventing what? Secessionist movements like us, Biafrans. Not because every existing border is just or makes sense to them, or no, but because many African leaders fear what? Precedent. That is what they are afraid of. They are worrying that recognizing one, which is Biafra, will encourage others in their own countries. That is what they are afraid of. That is what they are afraid of. This is not just about opening the Pandora box of endless fragmentation. No, this is about recognizing a specific unique situation where a people with distinct identity and history have been systematically marginalized and killed, targeted with violence, where over 50 million Biafrans participated in a referendum, clearly expressing our will that we don't want to belong to the terrorist country called Nigeria anymore. It is not working. It doesn't work
at all.
Nigeria is what? Simply graphical expression.
That's it.
It is not a country. It is a Britain company. That is why they are milking and milking and milking and milking. There is history about this. If you look at from South Sudan to Eritrea to East Timor, the question isn't whether self-determination is valid. It is whether it applies in this case of Biafra that we are. That is what the question is asking. Because evidence is overwhelming. Biafra is a valuable asset globally. Biafra is valuable, is going to be valuable to everyone. Biafra will be very good ally to everyone, provided you are not coming to exterminate us. We are peace and loving people that always coexist with others. There you can see our Biafra Republic government in exile, what they are doing right now. Because when you look at our government, when you look at the recognition of Biafra that we are talking about, we have a lot to offer the international community. It is not only about solving problems, it is about creating opportunities as well. We have developed new bylaws emphasizing transparency in our government. And we have also demonstrated in that bylaws the democratic accountability. Because if you look at a region like this ex-Nigeria that has been plowed with corruption, Biafra will come to erase all that when we gain our recognition. Our government is committed to cultivating a transparent and accountable governance framework. That is what our BRGIE is doing. Economic partnership. You heard it from the horse's mouth yesterday. You heard it from the mouth of our APM. That governance framework is going to eliminate corruption and ensure the rule of law in every moment, with goals for what? Biafra first, which is our citizen to thrive first. Biafra first. Yes, that is the plan of our government. That is what we are bringing to the table. That is what we are bringing to the table as we are negotiating with the US government. That is what BRGIE is bringing to the table. A government, a Biafra that will reach our full potential, a Biafra that will contribute to national growth and development. Our people, which are Biafrans, have historically been known for what? Entrepreneurship. We have been known for innovation. We have been known as business tycoons. Yes, let me use that word, business tycoon. Because a stable Biafra will become economic powerhouse. It will create jobs. That is the economic partnership that we are talking about. It is going to attract investment. These are the words of our APM last night. This is the word of our APM. What about strategic location beyond the Gulf of Guinea? Look at our map. Look at how Biafra, geographic positions will make it a neutral hub for trade. Very, very neutral. You will not be afraid of terrorism. You will not be afraid of transporting your goods if terrorists will place tax for you to pay. Or if kidnappers will kidnap you on the road. You are not going to be afraid of that. Partnership with a Biafra nation would facilitate broader engagement across the region. We are not selfish people. We coexist. Right from the time immemorial, that's who we are. Biafra government will do what? is going to counter terrorism. We are going to partner with nations that are ready to counter terrorism. That is why our governments are aligning with the Western culture. They are aligning with the US government. We don't align ourselves with BRICS. That is what our APM said. How many of the Greek members have spoken against the genocide going on? I told you yesterday that the UN Security Council have five nations there. US, UK, Russia, France, and China. None of them will vote for your freedom. None of them except US. And that is the reason why BRGIE has gone to align with US.
Yes, no.
If only US vote, there is nothing that UN will do, because the other four have not voted. Those four have veto. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to grab this time. Work with the US. We have a role to play. We have to bring our J at the Gemma. Don't say my money is too small or I'm the highest donor. I cannot. Bring your money. Bring your money. Go to our website. Our government is ready to partner with any nation that will counter this terrorism. I just went into detail about the Gulf of Guinea so that you know how serious that and how vulnerable that region is right now if the terrorists will take over. We cannot afford to miss the Gulf of Guinea that is in Biafra land. Do you know how much revenue we will generate? That is why we tell you, give us IOU. We are sure of the resources that we have. We are very sure where we are going to raise the money from to give you double. If you give us 10,000 a Gemma, you are going to get 20,000 because we know what we are made up of. We have the resources. It belongs to us, not to ex-Nigeria. Nigeria is stealing from us. And recognizing Biafra will stop this theft. They are stealing from us to go and give to the terrorists. That is what the Nigerian terrorist government is doing. I think, I have a question here. I have a question. Let me read the question and see if we can use this question to elaborate more before I go to the next session. Okay? The question is like this. If you were advising Western governments, what would you prioritize? Maintaining relationship with a government that has failed to provide security and has been accused of tolerating violence against minorities, or recognizing a new nation committed to democracy, security, international cooperation? What serves our interests better? Supposing you were in this, you were an advisor. I'm going to read it again. If you were advising Western governments, remember you have to give us reason why you are choosing that direction. What would you prioritize? Is it maintaining relationship with a government that has failed to provide security and has been accused of, tolerating violence against minorities, or recognizing a new nation committed, that new nation that has committed to democracy, security, and international cooperation? Which one? The mic is open to anyone that is available to answer.
Thank you.
Please keep to the time, okay? Keep to the time and give us the why. Okay. You chose. It's an open-ended question. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah. There are two major reasons that we choose few. For the past decades, the system, the fraudulent system called Nigeria, have failed the people, not just the people, but our neighbors. Other African countries are still looking up to Nigeria to act as the way US is to other countries around her. But Nigeria become the first state, the giant of criminals that actually contributed in violence in that region and beyond. So it is obvious and it is imperative for anybody who truly want to a better cooperation, a better ally, to align with Biafran people that are bringing a better option, a better trade opportunity, and a better security policies in that region that will be benefit of the West and other continents. As we all know, the terrorists that are coming to take over the region are not coming to take it because they just want to be there as a servo. Their target is the West. Their target is Israel. And these people that are the target will not say it. Even the US general, one US general said it himself. They're supposed to be in forefront in making sure that this nation that we work with them, in making sure that the terrorist ambition is destroyed, totally, which is Biafra government. They're supposed to align with the US, as US are making move now to support them in making sure this is done fast, because we don't know what will happen when another government take charge. Okay, this is opportunity for the West. Don't allow self-interest to deprive you this opportunity, because some of you today that are being invaded by this Islamists, if you were, because of your self-centeredness, look at people like Poland. Poland have no atom of a terrorist in their.
Thank you, Onyeka. 2 minutes have gone. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you for your submission. Thank you. You will pick the mic again. Let's manage the time. That was a great one. Thank you so much. Reg and Fury, you have your 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, ma.
Should I read the
Once
question
again, go ahead, read it again. Yes.
Okay, so the question goes like this. If you were advising Western government, what would you prioritize in your advice? Is it maintaining relationship with a government that has failed to provide security and has been accused of tolerating violence against minorities? Or would you, advise them to go into prioritize recognizing a new nation committed to democracy, security, and international cooperation? Which one? You must back it up with a why. You have to tell us why you chose that option. So please go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, you cannot solve the problem that you are part of. And aligning with the problem itself to solve the problem simply means a waste of time. Like we have seen over time, that a lot of these terrorists have been reintegrated into the security.
Rage, the question is, which one will you are advising? Which one will you advise?
I'm giving a background. I'm giving a background before I will tell you.
No background. You see, this is exam. No background. Go straight. Which one will you advise so that you don't exhaust your 2 minutes without saying anything? Which one will you advise?
Like I said earlier, you can't solve the problem that you are part of. So aligning with Nigeria is a waste of time. So the best way to solve the problem is to align with those that are not part of the problem, who we can categorically tell you today that they are the Biafrans. That is the best people you can align with, because number one, the reason that makes you to align with Nigeria probably might be because of the resources. And the truth is that these resources are not even from any other territory than the Biafran territory. And the people that are under Nigeria today, which is the foreign entity, are not from the Biafra extract. You understand? So it would make more sense to align with the owner of the resources, who are not part of the terrorism, who are not part of the genociders that are carrying out genocide against Christians, to better fight against the insecurity, the terrorism, and the genocide that is happening to Christians. So aligning with those that are part of the problem is a repetition of what happened in Afghanistan. That is going to be the end result. And you that is even aligning with them, your safety is not guaranteed, because these people, for the fact that they are the same people that are involved in this terrorism, in these acts of genocide against Christians and indigenous populace, they can easily get rid of you, aligning with them. So it is common sense and it is wisdom that you align with those that are not part of the problem. And I can make bold to say that these are the Biafrans, international community. If you want to align with any country, indeed that you want to fight against terrorism, against genocide, the Biafra is the best ally that you can have in the region, because even the Nigerian side, they can easily deceive you. At the end of the day, they will take advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer, Rich. So your reason is for safety, and which other reason there why you will tell your government, I only hate safety, and which other one?
Yeah, the reason is that I said you cannot align with those that are part of the problem. Aligning with
Okay.
them will only give you the repetition of Afghanistan, which we all know.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've answered the why. God bless you. So brilliant. Yes, so that is why you are called Rage and Fury. My co-host, can I give the mic to Stella to answer?
Yes, yes, I should be the last person to speak. No problem.
Okay. Oh yeah, oh, Mama Stella, answer the question. You have 2 minutes. And before then, sorry, ma. I've seen people have joined. Kindly share the space.
Keep
Madam P,
sharing,
I
keep
see you.
sharing.
A comdo, medio. You get why a comdo, veteran a comdo.
Hold
Odi.
on now, we are in the class. You make me forget what I want to say.
Okay,
Hold
sorry.
on, because we are in the class this morning. I hope everybody have his or her pen and paper. And Expo is also allowed, so you can Google and do little fast research and then come and answer our tutor here.
Mama
You know,
Stella, best speak.
and with
Come close
your
to the mic, I beg.
please, I'm very close to the mic. Oh, I don't know what else. Can you hear me now?
Yes, clear now.
No, senior citizen is in class this morning. Don't distract me.
Sorry,
So,
man.
and you see, you even made me to forget your question. But can you repeat your question again?
Yes, I'll
So
repeat. If you were advising Western
don't laugh
government,
here now.
if you were advising Western government, let's
Mhm.
say that you are our Obong Elias, for example, and you want to give the Western government an advice. Now you have two countries in front of you. You have the country that is has been captured.
I remember
You have
it
a
now.
new.
Just hold
Yeah.
it. I now remember what I wanted to say.
Okay,
You
let me
see,
read again.
I'm not Elias, so I'm not coming from the angle of Elias because Elias is
Okay,
knows what he or she wants. I mean, knows what he
okay,
wants for his own country. Because
okay,
at the end of the day, listen, if I'm coming from a corrupt nation, from a corrupt country like China, you understand? China will go and back with Nigeria, because they're not using opportunity to with the chaos going on. They're stealing the mineral resources. They are doing stolen mining everywhere, and maybe start the Nigeria president and they are owing them one check change, and they are using the opportunity to take mineral more than what Nigeria is owing them. You understand? But now, if I'm Mazi Elias, you understand? I will side with Biafra. You understand? Because Biafra has a very, first of all, we have a lot of things in common with Biafra. You understand? If I'm Elias, for example, their country is Judeo-Christian, more populated, and we are also Judeo-Christian, Judeo-religious religion, more populated. So already we have one thing in common. At least now, and you know that Biafrans, you can, you can trust them in business when you're going to do business with them. You understand? So already, when I have these two things in mind, for example, I would want to really deal with, business with Nigeria, with Biafra, I mean. And then, now as Biafra coming is going to be a more stable country that obeys the rule of laws. You understand? You won't be hearing terrorists chopping off people's neck everywhere. You understand? Now I can open a company. I can do business. I mean, there will be more stable business transactions with Nigeria automatically. You understand? And you won't be doing business and believing that somebody is going to dupe you. Nobody will dupe you because you now know these people, they are God fearing, they are hardworking. You understand? And there's this saying that when you
is something else. This my internet is something else. Hmm. Hmm.
Hello and thank you for calling Xfinity. Ask how you can take advantage